What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique of the Fight Guys. Also, I'm a Forbes contributor and write for Heavy.com. We're talking about UFC Fight Night 172. We are powered by Fight TV, also presented by Bet Online. According to Bet Online, right now, Walt Harris is a minus 137 favorite in the main event over Alistair Overeem, who is a plus 117 underdog. We're going to talk about this fight, but before we do that, make sure you are liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and clicking that notifications bell so that you'll know when new videos are dropping. Also, if you want to see all of the fights, all of the previews and predictions for every single fight on this card, that button in the upper right corner will get that done for you. You'll be able to watch them from front to back. This is the main event that we're talking about, so every other preview has already been done and posted. You can get a good look at what I think about every one of these fights. So let's talk about this main event. Walt Harris, man, he's coming back to the octagon. I can only imagine what's going on in his head coming back on Saturday night. It's been less than a year since his stepdaughter, Anaya Blanchard, was kidnapped and then found murdered. And Harris went through some serious and some obvious tough times dealing with this tragedy. It's crazy, you know. But he has decided to continue his career in honor of his daughter. And his first assignment since that tragedy is going to be facing perennial heavyweight contender Alistair Overeem. Both of these guys are big, strong guys, and they're meeting in this main event, which is going to be the last fight at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida for a while. UFC has literally taken over for 8 straight days, fanless events. This is going to be the one that culminates it. So let's look at how this matchup breaks down. Let's look at the striking first. Few heavyweights in the world, in my opinion, have as diverse of a skill set when it comes to striking as Overeem. I think he just has a lot of layers. He usually comes in, has a really solid game plan designed to break down his opponent. But his problem is sometimes he has these really costly lapses in attention, and it allows him to take some shots that in the heavyweight division you just can't afford to take. So that's his issue. I think it's in striking defense. He had this huge letdown. He was pretty much winning the fight over Jairzinho Rosenstrike in his last fight, but kind of got careless late, got caught with a nasty shot, split his lip open so poor. Oh, it was just, man, it was bad, right? Got stopped with 4 seconds left in the fight. Just a crushing defeat in just about every way you want to look at it. Now, Harris, he brings his own brand of effective striking into this fight. He is super aggressive. He has long legs. He's powerful. He's one of the best athletes in the heavyweight division. Played college basketball, just a heck of an athlete. And I think he definitely will have an edge in speed in this fight. He's almost always going to get a finish. All 13 of his victories as a professional mixed martial artist have come by KO. So, from the jump what Walt Harris is there to do. So you got to be ready. We'll see what happens with Overeem. Let's talk about grappling and submissions. I think this is a really interesting aspect of this fight, right? Both guys absolutely prefer to stand and fight. But if by some chance things did go to the ground, Overeem has a huge advantage down there. I mean, Walt Harris has looked lost when fights have gone to the ground against Fabricio Verdum, which I understand, obviously, we're talking about one of the best grapplers in the heavyweight division. But Walt hasn't looked good down there, man. And I know that Overeem is actually not bad down on the ground. People forget because he stands up so much. But he's much more experienced and much better equipped to handle himself on the ground. At one point in Overeem's career, he chased the submissions. I don't know, believe it or not, do you realize 17 of Alistair Overeem's victories, now he's had 45 wins, but 17 of them have come by submission. Most of them were, early in his career. As a matter of fact, he hasn't had a submission victory in 11 years, which is really crazy. Tells you a little bit of something about his longevity. But I don't think it would be a bad idea for him to explore taking this fight to the ground. I don't think he'll do it because it's just totally not what he generally does. But I think he could really have some success if he tried to take Walt Harris down. So we'll see. But like I said, I wouldn't count on it. So let's look at the intangible sides of this. Now, Harris obviously has this story going on right now that is probably going to provide some inspiration for him. It probably is. He's also the fresher fighter when you consider that Overeem has had 3 times as many fights, professional MMA bouts, as Walt Harris. 64 fights compared to 21. And we all know Overeem has taken some nasty knockouts. Ngannou, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Stipe. I mean, he's taken some nasty knockouts. So we don't know how much tread is still left on those tires. And he's been out there for a long time. If he does lose, this will be his 4th loss in his last 6 fights. Not a good look. Harris is on a 2-fight win streak, and with a few wins, you never know. He might be able to challenge for the title. So I do think he has the edge when it comes to intangibles, which leads me to my official prediction for this, the last fight on this card. If I thought that Overeem was going to try to take this fight to the ground, I would be tempted to pick him to win. However, I do not see that happening. I see this fight going forth on the feet. And I think that Harris's speed, length, and range will likely be enough for him to score this victory. As a matter of fact, I think he gets it done in the first round. Harris fights like he is double parked. And I think that he's going to find, he's going to find Alistair Overeem's chin, jaw, temple. And I think he'll get this done with a knockout in the first round. So let me know in the comment section what you think. I'd love to see or read it. And as always, I appreciate you watching. Enjoy the event. God bless and peace.